Hello, everyone. I am here with Garrett Williamson. Really excited to be here with you, Garrett. I'm really excited because I know the journey we've been on. It's been an amazing journey, right, with the SLS framework. Can you share with us what's been your experience so far? These 4 months.
Yeah, it's definitely been a journey. I really appreciate every one of our calls. It's been, good. And it's been initially a rocky road of first expectations and trying to find the right niche, which, is I think the hardest thing in this process. Um, but I'm glad that we've gone through it. And I think that, through the future, this system will be something that's very helpful, especially if I am able to train others to, add on to bringing people in through the system. I think will be a really good um, process. And when you dial it in, it will be even better. So, um, yeah, my experience has kind of been a little bit of a rocky one with not having things start off how I want them to go initially. Um, and I've tried a lot of different things, and I think there's still some opportunity for myself to improve around it. But overall, I think there's going to be I've had some, small successes, and I think there'll be more positive ones through the future here.
Totally. Thank you, Garrett. And thank you for sharing that because I feel sometimes in processes like this, it's like it has to be perfect, amazing. And you mentioned expectations. What would
Yeah,
you tell someone who is thinking of doing this, considering doing this? What recommendation would you give them, having gone
yeah,
through this yourself?
yeah. Well, first off, it is super super important who you're niching with, and what your um what the people who the people are that you're approaching on LinkedIn, because not everybody is active on LinkedIn. Not everybody, is very engaged. And I think um, there's a lot of people outreach on LinkedIn, which can be a challenge when you're trying to break through and have a connection with somebody. Um, I think for me, the lost my train of thought for a second there. I think if you're just starting off, just know that with expectations, having an acceptance rate of your invites of like 30% is actually really good. If you can get over 20%, you're doing the right thing with the connection requests. And if it's 10% or more of people actually replying to you, that's really good too. And just know that, this thing is going to be an additional system for you with prospecting. It's not a replacement system for prospecting. I don't think, just because of the limitation of volume that LinkedIn has. Luckily, with ULink, the tool is so good that you
For many people
get.
might not know what Ulink is. Let me just clarify that for a moment.
Oh
So
yeah. So
part of the process is there's a LinkedIn automation tool called Ulink. So yeah, go ahead.
mhm.
Just to give some context.
Yeah, the automation tool is so good. It's not AI, but it is, an automation tool. It's an algorithm, and it's so good that it will it will make sure that you're not only maxing out your connections for the week, but you're also utilizing all your in-mails for the week, and even potentially group messages. Although there's a little bit of not perfectness with the group messages, but ideally, if that was working all together, you could be sending out like maybe 900 connections a week, or reach outs a week passively through LinkedIn, which is, very strong, because LinkedIn is like one of the only places where you can directly outreach somebody, and not only say, hey, let's connect, but then they can actually look at your whole resume and say, oh, is this a person that I actually, want to engage with? And they may not interact with you right away. They may not engage with you right away, but hey, right as soon as they connect with you, you got their phone potentially, you got their email potentially, you got this connection with them. And you can keep dripping on them through LinkedIn for forever as long as they stay connected to you. So I think that's a really powerful tool overall. And mixed with the calling is, I think, a lot better approach. Like if someone hates calling, first off, the closed system, being able to call people through your computer versus over the phone,
Yeah.
that I think eliminates a lot of the anxiety, because you can just look at someone's LinkedIn profile and just talk to them, which I think is pretty cool. And since they've connected with you, they have a vague idea of who you are, and maybe they've looked at your profile and, they're a lot nicer over the phone as opposed to, who the heck is this, this random ghost from, the universe reaching out to me. Now they actually have an idea of who you are and why you're calling. Because I think that's one of the biggest challenges with cold calling is like, why are you calling? Right? Like, what's that hook that gets them to stay in attention when you're calling them? And this is simple. We're connected on LinkedIn. I wanted to get to know you better.
I love it. And Garrett, can you share with us how many appointments have you gotten so far? Because I know you were just sharing about how you got like some really promising leads right now, which is really exciting. You want to share
Yeah.
about that? Yeah.
Well, again, it's expectations. So it's been 4 months, a little bit over 4 months, and I've had scheduled maybe 6 or 7 discovery calls, initial calls with people, and of those, only 3 have attended. So I'm still trying to get back with certain people, right? But of those 3, 2 of them were great conversation, and one of them I think will be moving forward, and that will be great. Some people get a lot better success right away with Lux than I did, but I think that it was my learning curve of approaching the right people on LinkedIn, and so yeah, I cannot stress enough the importance of finding the right people on LinkedIn and using that sales navigator filter
I love
of
it. And thank you for
active.
being honest. I think it's important. One thing that I want to just bring up, like with the numbers, right? It's like you have 3 like ideal clients, which one might move forward. You mentioned. I think over here it's also asking yourself, like, how much is one ideal client really worth? I know for many of our clients, like it can be worth a lot. So it's like not, like for you, for example, like one ideal client can be worth, I don't know, 5, 10,000. So it's like also knowing that even if you get one, like, and you get one every 3 months, 4 months, like that's not bad.
Yeah,
You gotta look at
absolutely.
long term.
Absolutely. Long term, that system, it's just a lot better of a system than, many others that are out there. Um, I mean, yeah, I mean the education that you get, I think all the videos that come along
Mhm.
with the program and being able to connect with you, Sharina, every week or 2 weeks is really nice because you can, kind of have a person to vent to or have a person to, reassure you. And I think that's really important. And you know, it's hard when you have an idea about how to implement something, but you have to create everything. And to have that creation element taken off your plate helps a lot. And you can then kind of dial things in. You have this kind of framework that's set up for you. And I think that's, very valuable as well. So yeah, and an ideal client for me, yeah, it should be, somewhere between 10 and 15,000, right?
Mhm.
So
That's
yeah,
exciting.
yeah. So if that's, I think most advisors, if they take on clients um, who are their ideal prospects, they should be expecting that as well. So, um, yeah, I'm hoping that comes true in the near future.
Sure, for sure, Garrett. Thank you so much for sharing your experience, and I'm excited to celebrate your wins coming soon. More
Yeah,
wins
me
coming
too.
soon.
I'm definitely looking forward to them.
Awesome. Thank you.